So Andrew and myself had the privilege to spend 7 days at the most unique horse and safari experience in the whole world. And we have the absolute pleasure to interview the founder, Luke Barnard. Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you guys here. I mean, you and the friends that you brought this week were incredible. It was a fun week. I mean, the first day we started with just a little drive around the safari reserve. Everybody got to see the environment. It was very interesting having 4 people that had never ridden horse before. It was, let's just say slightly challenging. You know, you look at these people, I mean, all of you were very fit individuals and, in shape, but you still live animal, quite risky. People can fall. But I must admit, all 4 of you did quite well. I mean,
let's go.
You were quite natural, finding the rhythm and everything, and Andrew, you just don't stop. Like, I can imagine that's why you're successful in your business, because, let's lack a better word, hard-headed. Like, I'm going to get this thing right.
No matter what.
No matter what. And like, it was incredible just to see, like, you would like slap on the horse's back. No technique, but it's like, oh, now I'll carry on. And then, I mean, you fell off once and you just like, nah, I'm good. And then I'm sitting there like,
yo.
This could have been real bad.
I mean, you didn't once tell me that you hurt or anything. I don't know if you're just that type of character that just says, no, I don't have pain. Meanwhile, I don't lying in bed like, ooh.
My back at the end, but definitely, I felt like an old man, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we did so many different, unique experiences in understatement, right? We did clay Dave shooting, horseback safari, which is, I've never even heard of that before we came here to Sparta, and we went to go hunting our first animals. We can get into that story as well, and obviously the polo as well. And I think the people and myself would love to know, how did you get into this industry, right? Someone doesn't just stumble into this.
So my life's taken a very interesting journey. Okay, so I started out, I was like a horse obsessed kid. Okay, so from 2 years old, I would go horse riding with my grandfather. I would actually, I was so at home on a horse that I would fall asleep, and then I would slide off the horse because I'd fallen asleep. Okay, so my granddad, instead of saying, no, I don't want to ride horse with this kid anymore, because I imagine I was the only kid who didn't complain. Okay, you can imagine if you're a bit older, and you say you can ride with one of the kids and they're shouting, I never complained. I would fall off and then, because I fell asleep. So what he would do, he would take a rope and actually tie me to the saddle so that when I fell asleep, I would just like bob on the horse and then just carry on with the trail. And then when the horse starts going faster, you just, okay, let's
like
go.
Like those bumps on the car, right? You were just on a horse.
Yeah, so like when, remember Sean, like when when you're on the back of the truck and then he's driving over a gravel road.
Yeah.
So that's where the love of horses started. So from there carried on. I then did like such a lovely adventure boys finishing school, which is the roots of actually how I got these ideas, to think of different fun ways we were 10 guys and we think about different, so you do like plumbing, electrics.
Oh, is this after high school?
Yeah, after high school, and you do everything like, carpentry, there's a bit of accounts.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much a year to see what do you enjoy. Okay, because I was a bit of a lost kid, like I didn't know what to do after school. So I did this, that was incredible. And then I went to university, I found something that I enjoyed at university, and I spent way too much time at university. Okay, if I look back on an ROI situation, I've got 3 degrees, spent ages of my life at university. Now with my current job, I don't use anything except for how to organize a party from university. So 8 years of getting to know how to organize a party, doesn't seem, it's quite redundant. But I was actually, so this is a family farm. This whole land here, all 13,000 hectares is family orientated. Grandfather started it, and actually my mother took the business and flew with it. And then she wanted a game reserve, okay? And people want something, but then they don't realize how much it costs every month. I don't know if the viewers have actually seen, the state of the rooms, everything's beautiful, and all of that costs money.
They will see it because I think the vlog will be out before the podcast. So if you haven't seen it, watch the vlog.
It's on this channel.
Yeah, we'll be on this channel as well.
Yeah. So I was off to go work the idea was to go be a a lecturer for a year at a university in America, on agriculture, work a bit on farms there, like advising, doing that sort of stuff, what I study. But then, as one does, you fall in love and, you don't really want to move or whatever. And I was speaking actually to like the directors of the parent company, the beef producing company. And then they spoke to me and they said, listen, there's actually two factions of a business that lose money. Okay, we've got this massive game lodge that loses countless amounts of money every year because we just can't seem to get clients, even though it's like perfect, pristine. But you guys know you need a online platform, you need to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And then, I also play polo. And then everybody playing polo, that sort of costs money every month. So then I thought, okay, I'll start a little polo school. Got people from overseas in to play polo and they loved it. And they kept on coming back, the same people. And the business started going nicely. So I got return clients, word of mouth spread, and everybody just had a great time. With the polo, since we honored, the polo weeks were on a game reserve, I said, why don't we just do like a horseback safari day for them? And they started loving it. And then I actually had a week in March where it just rained the whole time. And then people are paying you to play polo every day, sport, they want to get on the horse, do this, do that. And you start thinking, every night you start stressing, every job's got its own stresses. But I just constantly think about, how do I make someone's life or someone's week here incredible, without playing polo? Sorry, just a dog. So how do you make someone's week incredible? People need to have fun firstly. They need to feel safe. Or if they feel safe, they're more likely going to have fun. If they're on a horse and they're nervous. Then I started, let's do horseback safaris every day. And we did it actually in the rain, all of that, and people enjoyed it. And I would make it, let's go do a horseback safari today. Then we get back, fire, marshmallows inside. Sun's out, but the field's too wet. Let's go clay pigeon shooting. There's a bit of a gap here. Let's go do award ceremony in the mountains at a sunset. Let's go see how many sunset spots we can see on a horse this week. So then it started. And then I saw how everybody's eyes lit up just doing horseback safari the whole week. I mean, I'm obsessed with polo, but it doesn't mean that I can't enjoy something like a horseback safari, which I saw everybody loving and wanting to keep on doing that. So then I was like, I could make this a business, I could really just get people into horseback safaris because I looked at the metrics. You always got to see what market share of the, whatever business you're in, what market share do you have? And I went and it's like, I need to get more polo players. And then I went and looked up, there's only 30,000 polo players worldwide.
Which is not a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody watching, that's no one.
Yeah.
Like your total addressable market, you need to look at that first.
Yeah.
And I even saw this podcast where it said, you're going to a market of 30 million people, isn't that too small? So even 30 million is small, so imagine 30,000.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you didn't go to existing polo players, like that wasn't your
market, originally that's what you think, because you start a business, not always, sometimes you got to just go with it. If you go analytically beforehand, everything, sometimes you got to do it like a night, just do it, go into it. So I just went into it, started making a success, and then so like, how do I get more people? And then I realized there are more people that play polo, So I said, how many people ride horse in the world? You hit a Google, you're like 30 million. How many people could afford to do a week like this? It's a bit less. And then I started looking, 30 million horse riders. To teach somebody how to ride horse in a week, on my testimonials over here. You guys learned how to ride horse in 3 days?
Yeah.
Basically the first
Technically,
day.
we could ride the horse the first day, right?
Yeah, I mean, but within the first 5 minutes, did you think you were going to get it right?
Not a chance. I was so scared. And the next day, we did a horseback safari. We ran up a mountain with Camille Perde on our lake. It was incredible. And I never thought I'd be able to do that. That was in 24 hours, less than 24 hours,
So I think the success of this place has been able to adapt and, see that sort of thing, People are booking, they really love it. They see like on Instagram, oh, that video is really cool. I want to be able to do that. Wait, I can't ride horse. I'm like, I'll just make sure that I've got really good horses and easy for people to do it. There's so many people that want these experiences, but they're like, how do I even learn to ride a horse? Where's the awareness of telling somebody, hey, how can I ride a horse? Do that. And I love giving them people those opportunities and a week that they'll never forget. So I want like people like you. Next week when you're sitting in the office, what for me is a job well done is you two are talking about how much fun you had the week. Or 3-4 months down the line, you're like,
on a ride again.
hey,
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yeah.
remember that time we went to Sparta? Oh, Quentin, that was the best.
Yeah.
So that's for me like amazing. And I really feel like I'm getting that sort of vibe sent across.
Where did you, was all of this like business knowledge and skills that you're obviously speaking about right now and that you were implementing, was that sort of self-taught? Did you learn that, via osmosis through maybe your mother running the business before you, or maybe at university? How did you go about, I mean, starting a business is difficult, right? Like you had this idea, you're like, okay, let's start this polo school. But no normal person decides to just start a business and hinge their bets on themselves, right?
So I think it's difficult to answer that question because you don't know what you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know things and then in your brain they're common sense. Okay, so there's certain things that I don't know, and then I would speak to somebody else and like, no, obviously it's like that. Okay, different people with different, backgrounds. I would say I'm very privileged. I've got parents are divorced, but they both run very successful businesses. Okay, so every day if I'm home or whatever from boarding school, you see your parents work hard. And then it just becomes a norm to you. What? To work till 10 o'clock in the evening. That was just how I grew up, see your parents work till 10 o'clock in the evening every day. So when I started my first job out of uni, I was like, yeah, I'm going to work till 10 o'clock in the evening every day. I'm going to wake up there. I think that's the greatest value I've ever got, was seeing hardworking parents. It's not everybody has that, which is tough. If you grow up in a family where, say, your parents weren't that successful, it's much harder, I think, to be successful. Not just because of the value, you get a kickstart if your family's wealthy.
Of course.
You just get a better education, you get more opportunities, your parents have wealthier friends. So it's just like this chain reaction, and it's also the values that they instill in you, to work hard. So I think that comes very much like that, and I think I just don't like working for other people. So you have to,
Amen.
yeah, you have to know how to run a business if you don't want to go one day you sit at a job, okay, I want to go on holiday, I want to go to France next week.
Yeah.
Oh, should I have to fill in a leave form?
Yeah.
Oh no, my boss didn't accept my leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to live like that. Do you want to live like that?
Of course not.
The thing about starting your own company is, okay, you don't have one boss telling you what to do, but your boss is now your customers.
Yeah, your clients.
Because your customers give feedback. You now have basically 100 mini bosses. But if one leaves, you still got 99. So, I think hinging on one boss, that's pretty risky in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty risky, but there's also some safety in it where I think most people in the world go and work for somebody else and they're content not to take the risk. Okay? Because how easy is this? Oh no, every month I just pitch up to work, I get a salary. It's the easy way out. Okay? It takes like serious courage and bravery to be like, oh, if I don't do my job this week, I'm not getting paid. I've got to pay all my suppliers, make sure even if I have to produce at a loss this week to retain customers, I've got to do that, knowing that I'm going to lose money this month.
Yeah, with the hope that you might
Make more the next month.
Yeah, so when I started this new ad campaign to launch the Horseback safaris, okay, so I had to go and employ a full-time, or I wouldn't call him just a videographer, but a guy that's going to handle the calls of the bookings and everything, because I'm so busy every day to day making sure the on-site clients are there, so I have to go and employ somebody. It's a full-time big salary, right? And then you got to run ad campaigns and everything, so you got to pull out quite a bit of cash, right, without an immediate return. You don't launch a Instagram page and putting down 20-30k a month at it, and you're going to get those clients this month. You're not going to get them next month. You're not going to get them the third month. You might start getting them month 4, okay, but it's still not ROIs. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, which, let's be honest, if you're launching a campaign like that and you're getting ROI within a year, looking at your investment, it's still incredible, okay? And other businesses that I've worked in, agriculture, if you're getting in before 3 years, boom, that's something that you a tractor that you buy. You think about 3 years is great.
Do you think coming from like a farming background that it made you a lot more
Business savvy.
business savvy could be the right term to use there, but also what do you call it? Like nie haastig nie, like patient to see results, not expecting it to be in the first 2-3 months to be rich.
Yeah, because as a farmer, crop takes time.
Yeah,
but
so-
in like the online business space, maybe people just scroll on social media, they post, and then they instantly get likes. It's like instant feedback loops. But as a farmer, you're not necessarily on social media that much, and things take time.
I think I've never thought about that, but I think that's probably had a massive impact because everything, you've got to think about how long is your cash. I'm trying to think of the English words. Your cash, frozen.
Yeah.
So like if you go and invest and you lay out, you want to plant 1,000 hectares of maize, you don't get that cash.
Because it's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck in the ground. So you can't do anything else with that money.
Yeah.
Till you go and harvest that crop. So you got to think about what can you do, forward planning. I think if you're a good, successful farmer, you should be able to succeed in anything because you have to plan so far ahead, and you have to plan for risks that is not in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Your crop can burn down. Okay, yeah, you can get insurance and everything, but you're never getting the same amount of money that you would from a crop yield. Okay, cattle. So if you buy a cow or whatever, it's 9 months and then another 8 months to wean the animal before you can sell it. Those are long-term things. Okay, so you learn to have patience and know how to work with money and risks that aren't in your control. I mean, say for argument's sake, you're like bullish on Tesla stocks or something. Okay, then the whole US government goes against gets
Electric
Elon
cars
Musk or whatever, and your Tesla dives like this. That wasn't something really in your control, hedging, backing Elon. But it's something that you need to anticipate, even if it's not your fault that it goes wrong, which I think is the most important in business to realize, okay, it is your fault if you back these things because you realize there's going to be an external factor out of your control which could hinder you. Yeah.
Something that I've realized recently, we had the privilege to go to Iman's event, Andrew, and they just track all these data and variables, and you just see the behind the scenes of the amount of effort they put into trying to control what they can control, but also predict certain variables to try and mitigate the risk, right? And that's exactly what you're speaking about right now. And I also think, like in business in general, especially in the beginning stages, the main thing why people tend to not find success is because they probably just give up too early because they've expected or set a certain intention that, they're going to be successful in 6 months or 9 months.
10K month in 3 months.
Yeah. And what's that quote? Like it takes longer than...
success... Oh, damn, what was it? It's it happens slower than you expect and then faster than you can ever imagine.
Yeah. As soon as things start rolling and you see those first batch of clients coming in from the ads that you've spent or the campaign that you ran 6 months ago, it tends to just like if it rains it pours, and it all just dumps, and then it feels, it's like this is how entrepreneurship looks, right? It's like the valley of despair, and then like on top.
No, I totally agree with you. You can never predict when it's going to come. But what irritates me with some people, okay, are perfectionists. Right. Striving for perfection stops you from starting anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to make sure that this is the product you're delivering, this is the end result, this is how much I want to charge for it, you can't script these things. You can't. Like I want to say, okay, there's 10 rooms here. I want to make sure that 40 weeks of the year I've got 10 rooms filled. If I don't do that, then it's a failure. Why? You need to look at, okay, yeah, it is a failure if you're not hitting break evens and you can't put food on the table, whatever. But if you don't hit your break evens for year 1, year 2, whatever, you got to make sure, okay, maybe I need to have a different cash revenue stream while I'm running this business, so I don't have like a financial fallback. But it takes time, these things. If you want to make sure everything's perfect, you're never going to get it done. Like I have this argument with my marketing guy every day, or marketing director I call him, and then he's like, no, the video needs to look like this, the video needs to do this, no, the weather's coming in. And I tell him, if we do something, it is better than nothing. And then I think, but you need the balance. You do need perfectionists in this world. You know, to make sure things are right, because at the end of the day, products still have to be what people want.
Yeah, it's that clay pot study, you know that?
Yeah.
Where two groups, the one group, they told them to just focus on as much volume of pots as possible. So just create as many pots. Like, we don't judge you on how good the pots look, just create as many as you can. The other group were judged on how perfect the pot is. Like, I don't know exactly how they measure that. And then at the end of the 30 days, whatever, the group who focused on the volume, just like creating as much as they can, actually created better looking pots, even though they didn't focus on it. So you just need to put more stuff out there, and just even subconsciously, not even like making a conscious effort of like, okay, these needs to tweak. Obviously, if you take time for feedback and stuff, it will just improve better. But if you just do more stuff naturally, just without doing real feedback, you will get better.
So I really like that. And when you take it to a business, where I think is you need skin in the game. Okay. So with skin in the game, I mean like you need to be putting down your own value and your own money and everything. So all these trust fund kids that try and start these latest businesses and that sort of thing, where daddy gives them say $1 million or whatever, and then they say, yeah, go start this business. Those businesses more than often fail because they didn't earn that cold hard cash to invest themselves. Okay, when things get handed out to you, you don't really put in. You need to, have it. Okay, if I don't get this right, there's like serious
consequences.
Yeah. It's like when I think it was when Musk started when he sold PayPal. He took all that money and he reinvested it immediately, and he took loans to live off.
That's crazy that someone does that. Guy.
I think he made like $10 million and he had to borrow $3,000 for rent.
Yeah, I mean that's what he did. He like hedged all his bets or something, and he just made it work. Okay, like me, my house is definitely someone who brings in so much turnover every month. My house is not what it I mean. Cheapers. Like I should definitely have a bigger TV or actually a matching set of couches or whatever. But I'm pouring everything into this. Like I live and breathe my business, and that's why I firmly believe like it's really becoming quite successful. It's not perfect. Okay, no business is perfect, but you want to improve it every year. And I don't know when you get to the place that you make your house look nicer. I've always people have always laughed at me and they say like, why do you live like this? I was like, I crave discomfort, okay? In job, all of this, I have to do it. If I got the comfortable living in my house, whatever, if your couch is too comfortable at home and your surround sound's too good, you're going to want to sit there and do it. Not get out and work, okay? And I just firmly believe you just need to, move around, get to the job, go and do it.
So you actually are more comfortable when things are uncomfortable.
Yeah, in a sense, I like sitting around on a Sunday afternoon watching series just as much as the next guy. But I don't want to create an environment where I get addicted to it. That's actually the main thing. I'm not saying don't switch off and relax, but you have to just, that want to succeed in the business. Like, what's the next thing that I can adapt and get better at? I mean, just for argument's sake, how much a new addition to this is the clay pigeon shooting. The smiles that came off your faces, and it's good fun, I mean, who doesn't love shooting a shotgun?
Yeah, of course. And what would you say, you obviously sort of got into this business you obviously had a bit of a passion for polo and maybe some curiosity to, like further down, like how does this lead to something profitable? Then you got very curious about the business structure. What do you think is the balance between, it's a very cliche question, we spoke about it briefly, about to follow your passion, your purpose, or to be curious about what you're doing. If you were to look back, like how could you sort of essentially guide your younger self into, what he has to do after university, right?
It depends like where you're guiding your younger self. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten all these degrees if I look back on it. I probably would have gone and studied something else, understood, internet wealth better, like saying how forex trading works, how coins work, how this works, how, where finances are going in the future. But that saying said, I don't know what I know, and I don't know how helpful my university degrees are to me day to day. But I think it's just so much easier if you go and understand those sort of things. Stocks, recently, understanding the stock exchange. It's good, easy ways to make money. But then I do follow my passion now. I think what I'm doing in hospitality and horses are two of the most difficult things to make money in, but I love it. I love every minute of my job. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, how am I going to teach? And I lie in bed thinking about, yes, Andrew was just hopping on that horse a bit too much. How am I going to get him to find the rhythm of the horse? How am I going to trick his brain into thinking of an analogy in his mind? Okay, how is he going to ride a horse better? Okay, Quentin, yeah, he's really good, got a natural sit on a horse. But I can see there's this little bit of fear in his mind when it comes to the horse going quicker. How do I tell him that's going to be all right? Okay, how do I make sure that he knows if he falls off this horse, it's not the end of the world? Okay, how do I play with somebody's mind like that to do that? And when you see it and get it right with this person, it is incredible. The feeling you get is incredible. And I don't think if I went to a different space, if I would have had that sort of enjoyment day to day. Could I be making more money doing something else? 100%. Will I feel more fulfilled? I don't think so. Can I have a better lifestyle than I do now? I've got to work every day with my dog who's my best friend. Okay? Do you want a better life than that? I don't think so. My job gives me a lot of physical exercise, there's good nutritious meals at the lodge every day. I pretty much live with a private chef. Okay? This is included in my business. Someone cleans my room every day, which is included in my business. We're going to stay with the guests. Someone brings me my horse, which is included in the business. So I can do all the fun things I have actually my passion in my job, which is actually incredible.
It's amazing.
And also with these in-person experiences, we also talked about that at the campfire. With AI and stuff, people are going to crave more of it anyway.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna boom even bigger.
Oh, like experiences, like I fully agree with Hunter. Like experiences can't be, substituted by AI, right? Like this is going to be a booming industry for sure. I think also the reason why I think this place stands out a lot to me is because you can see if someone is passionate about what they do or not. And the amount of passion carries over into how they execute, how do they show up to their work, like their entire experience. Like there's a lot of things when you were riding the horse, whatever, that there was no need for you to do or to say, but you did because you were passionate about it, you were curious about this, you want to help us, and that carries over to the experience. And this is a trip we'll never forget, right? Because of that. And I think the only way how people really get to the top of their game, and in any industry, is you have to be passionate about what you do, or at least to a borderline curious. And I definitely see that in the work that you are doing, right?
So, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's very interesting, this experience is what people are going to sell. I mean, that's something that you can't replace.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not as much of we do consume a few things of that sort of stuff, but these sort of experiences are incredible. And I'm not saying I'm the only person who does these sort of things, but I think there will be more people where it's an experience-based holiday than just going, oh no, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach, sit at the beach. Some people just go on holiday to get drunk at a different place. Okay? It's most people's holidays. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I love a party just as much as the next guy. But to go away and just get an experience that you're going to talk about for the rest of your life, I think there's going to be a serious boom. And I think maybe I am just really ahead of the curve here, and I could be in 5 years' time charging 10x of what I do now, and I could really be making serious wealth. There's a good chance of that. But if it doesn't get to that X and I make a really nice living off of this, that's also fine. Because it's not like I want to be doing anything else with my day. I mean, if I won the lottery, how much of my life would change? I don't know. This is where I love to be. What I love to do is horses. The only thing that would change is I wouldn't make people book, pay to book if I had unlimited X. I'll just get my good mates to come here. I'll be like, hey, Quentin, Andrew, what's happening next week? Do you guys want to come to the farm and just chill with me for a week?
That's really cool.
I also think it's valuable if people pay for it though.
Yeah, true.
Even with our free community, people don't even go through the modules, even though it's some of the best work out there, but it's free, so people don't value it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% someone like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, but think about it. when your parents paid for your holidays, did you
Same thing.
appreciate
It's the
them?
same thing that you said now with like
Yeah.
the $1 million like loan from your father. Like, if you had to work for that million, you know how much how more valuable that is?
Yeah.
Because it's time, sweat, and blood.
Even like buying your own car, and
Oh.
Even if it's a fucked up car, it's your car,
taking
and that
care
thing
of
is
it.
clean. You shimmy that thing. It's always
And you love it. It's got a name.
It's got a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely value to that.
No, you can definitely see it also. I mean, you get a lot of people here. I got quite a young demographic coming here with the polo groups.
Yeah, what is the average group coming in, and like it's a lot of international people, right?
Yeah, so I'm very bullish on marketing towards UK universities.
Okay.
So
UK
probably-
university.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a brother that went to Oxford, and then he just organised a couple of his mates, and you know, all those universities, there's a connection here or there. So guy from Oxford knows one guy from Cambridge, knows a guy from Edinburgh, knows a guy from Exeter, knows a guy from Warwick. You know, it's everything just connected there. So I love that. I mean, I love those open minds coming here. It's incredible, you know. But you can also see the point that I want to get back to is you can see which ones have got, you know, holiday work paying for their own trip, which one dad's paying for, you know, the appreciation that they've got for the week. I'm not saying everybody that, you know, their parents pay for holiday is not appreciative, but you can definitely, see differences.
Yeah, like speaking about these different universities and I mean Oxford, Cambridge, we as South Africans tend to hear that and think like these high-level schools, right, which they are. You must get some interesting people over.
You know what, to be honest with you, we all think about Oxford, Cambridge, oh, they must be better than us. They're just people,
Yeah.
okay? In this essence, it doesn't matter how successful somebody is, they want to have a fun time, okay? They value their experience, right? And yeah, they're just amazing people. I mean, I've seen people here that studying incredible things.
Bosco.
Incredible things, and they get here and they just, you know, just
Normal
a chill
people.
guy. But then you do get, what I love is I'm a history fanatic. Like, I love history, and I just probably spend way too much time listening to history podcasts, and just like the general guy is obsessed with the Roman Empire. I'm a culprit too, you know. Think about it, most people, what did they say?
Yeah. 3-4
I'm at
times a
7,
day.
8.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, so I love it. So then I've gotten people here that study medieval trade, okay, doing a PhD in medieval trade. So I could take them on a safari, or either on horses or in the car. I promise you, it feels like I've got a podcast behind me the whole time.
Wow.
It is so interesting, like how they do it. I went to Oxford this year, okay, to go to some like marketing and that sort of thing, and then I go meet up with previous clients. So the one's an archaeologist, and she studies I think she's going to do a PhD now at Warwick University on archaeology, and she took me through Oxford. Okay, have you ever had a tour around a city by an archaeologist and a museum? It's incredible.
That must be amazing.
You know, like it's this person can speak 14 languages, 9 living languages and 5 dead. I mean, you go into the Egypt section of the museum and she's reading the hieroglyphics, and I'm like, what on earth? You know, it's ridiculous. I had somebody here the other day, probably about 3 weeks ago. His name was Neil. Okay, so he was the most interesting person. I actually we do awards here at the end of the week, like you guys had some very fun, interesting awards.
We had some one
Yeah.
very interesting one.
Can't really mention the prizes we have won,
but Quentin and I shared it.
Yeah, so very interesting. I hope they actually post that. You know, that's got to get some serious reach because it's a very valuable award. But anyway, so then this guy came here and he got the award for the most memorable person I've ever met in my whole entire life.
Wow.
So if I speak more about Neil, he's incredible. So I think his roots hail from India, but you know, generations back, they moved to the UK. Okay, so his parents told him to get into accounting like them, and he's an accountant. But he decided, you know what, stuff it. I'm also going to get a PhD in Napoleonic history. So you can imagine me. Okay, history nerd myself, how much I love speaking to this guy. So we're sitting around the dinner table and he just starts talking about reenactments. You know, like that you see in like certain movies where like I imagine
they dress up as like the stuff.
they dress up, okay?
Did he do it?
He does it.
No
like
way.
they say they've got a season for this, you know, like a sports season.
No way.
So they've got a reenactment season. And at first you're like, okay, that's a bit like strange that you do that.
Yeah.
And he talks about the passion that him and his friends have with us. And it's, I mean, you know, I'm the quickest guy to be like, that's weird. Okay, but it's
infectious.
Open your mind and listen to these guys. They might be different to you, but they've got something interesting to tell and something to learn from.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got these horses that they need to practice, you know, practice decapitation sort of reenactments. I don't know exactly how they do it in their act, but they've got to take a sword, draw it while they're riding, and then chop a cabbage in half. I should actually get some of this footage out to you guys so you can show your viewers. It is incredible. I mean, this guy also told me, I enjoy, you know, I have a good time when I wear a tie. So,
Oh, is it this fellow?
yeah, so I'm going to go hunting in a suit and tie. So there he goes off. You go boys went hunting.
Yeah.
Does it seem like tie hour to you?
Definitely not.
Definitely.
Definitely
so
not.
I've never
Especially when
seen
you-
this. Yeah.
Putting that thing on your shoulder.
Yeah, you know, Andrew, any excuse for you to take off your shirt.
Yeah.
So he wore a tie. And then last, so he was one of the front runners for this. So the whole week they wanted to make, this group wanted to make it Lord of the Rings themed. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so there was like Gondor versus Mordor and team shirts, everything like that. But he was like, what do? I really want to play in a tie. Okay? So this guy puts on like a full suit and he puts his team shirt over it. You can imagine how hot he was getting, but he's like, I'm not taking this off. I enjoyed my time in the tie, so I've got to wear it.
I respect that. I love that.
Yeah.
Like it's that's partly why I like doing these interviews, right? I'm very fascinated about greatness and obsession and individuals who just are fascinated about a certain thing that drives them sort of like crazy, right? Like this guy, he likes wearing a tie.
And you know what I find very interesting about certain people of this, okay? So I think the three of us here, success is correlated very much in our minds to wealth. You know, I can't get that out of my head. To be successful, you have to make money.
Has to be.
Okay, but for some people's brains, it doesn't work like that. If you're going to go and study history, you know you're not going to become a billionaire. Okay, but you like it, and they become successful in their field without becoming wealthy, which is a very difficult thing to comprehend for the three of us.
Guys,
Yeah. So people that are very like
Yeah,
want
that's
to
a
make
good point.
wealth.
That's a good
yeah,
point.
it's very,
That's a good
very
point.
interesting, and we have to also mix with us, you know, people who
Yeah.
are thinking like that, because they're so interesting, because their minds aren't just filled with what you
Money,
yeah,
revenue,
money. How do I do this?
systems,
How do I do that?
yeah.
How do I make more?
Andrew had a great point that he shared with me recently, which sort of changed my perspective around success a little bit. I'm not sure what the exact quote was, but it's something on the line of like a good measurement of success is: are you happy to go to work, and are you happy to go back home? Just
Yeah,
as
like
simple
you're
as that.
excited to get to work
Excited.
and excited to get back home.
To get back home.
Yeah.
And I really like that measurement, because the more and more I dive into the metrics of increased revenue, profit, all of this, I am not chasing the money as much as I used to. I'm more trying to sort of link that more into its value and impact in other people's lives, and it's changing. It's like an experience you're doing here, right? Like obviously we want to make good money, but definitely, and you can see that in how you're speaking, the main driver that moves this business forward is your enjoyment in seeing how other people enjoy this experience and how they have a once in a lifetime experience. And that is something I'm trying to do in our business as well. But yeah, I fully understand what you were saying.
It's you know, do what you enjoy and everything, but there's also that saying, never do something that you're good at for free. You know,
Never do something
that you're good at for free.
that you're good at for free. Yeah.
So, you know, even it doesn't matter how much you enjoy your job, you want to get paid for it. So then we have to look at the other side of the coin, you know? Okay, there's a lot of people that it isn't all about money and everything, but you still need to get paid
Yeah.
for that. So, yeah, it's so tough to find that balance, you know?
Yeah, you don't focus on the money per se. Like even all these big founders, like they never, obviously, you know, of course it's there, like you want to make good money, but they're focused on,
Solving a problem.
yeah, and like just impacting people and like building something great that people love. And as a natural byproduct, you'll make a shit ton of money.
This is true, but, you know, as a natural byproduct, if you run your business correctly,
Yeah.
you know, You still have to like run the. It's not like
Yeah.
yeah.
You still need to do the operation side. Where can you save on tax
course,
and
of
like all these
course.
percentages?
It's difficult to think like that if you're still in a survival mindset where you still need to make money and you're struggling to pay rent, right? Then it's
It's tough.
impossible to think about how do I change the world and impact lives and follow my passion. I fully understand that and I have sympathy with that. What I did tell Sean previously at a dinner we had was that I think that's the game of life. I think that's what makes it fun, is to try and figure out how do you play this game that you can make enough money, that you can do the things you want to do and still find a balance that you somehow enjoy what you're doing, right? It's like you just said, you can potentially follow a different career and make more money, but do you want to do that? Well, maybe not. Maybe I really enjoy working with my dogs all the time and riding my horse. Like that seems like a hell of a life.
And also, to be fair, it's like easy for me to say I would have made more money doing something else, but how do I know? How do I know what I'm going to make here in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
How do I know? Yeah.
I fully disagree with that you will make more money, because I really think it's very difficult for someone to have a level of passion and curiosity that you have right now in a place like this with a product that has potential and not make good money.
No, fair enough.
I think this place is going to be like, I couldn't even name one, like just excluding everything else, a horseback safari in South Africa. I couldn't even name another one. So I think you guys are sitting on something special here.
No, it is, and it is already very successful. I mean, the amount of clients that come in and out, client-based or May, you just always think about it's really fun job, but it's all consuming. The entertainment of clients in the evening. So sitting with dinner, just saying, like, I think what differentiates me from other places you go on holiday, I sit with you and I think, what would Andrew and Quentin like to do tomorrow? Hey, did you enjoy the horseback safari side of it more?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at going hunting? Do you want to look at clay
Yeah.
pigeon shooting? Do you want to, because you can sort of read, I could have just taken you guys out on the horses every day in the reserve and we walk.
Yeah.
Okay? We just walk. We maybe sometimes see a giraffe, we maybe sometimes see an antelope. Or I could give you guys a full rounded experience. But some people don't want to clay pigeon shoot. Some people don't want to go hunting. Some people don't want to ever hold a polo stick.
Yeah. That is the product, or like the focusing on customer service aspect, right? That is like the James Dyson coming out of you right now, right? It's like focusing on, it's a personalized experience, focusing on what does the customer want, right? And that increases the product and that drives the value of the product up, and that means you can charge more. So it's all interconnected. Like, I really think, business and people that dislike all these billionaires or rich people, I think that comes from such an ignorant place, because, it's just, they have created more value. The marketplace doesn't care about your religion, background, ethnicity, and I really think the more value and impact you create in the world, the more financial incentive you will gain back.
So what I want to ask you, the two of you, because I've been asked quite a few questions, if we can do a bit of an
Turn the
Uno
table.
reverse.
Oh, this is the first time.
Okay, so you guys are like quite successful and extremely young. I mean, you guys are even younger than I am, and like what you guys are doing is incredible. Okay, what do you guys think has helped you more with creating your businesses? So IQ or like?
No, IQ has nothing. I don't even have to
Oh,
listen to the other
EQ.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, EQ, definitely.
But that,
definitely
you can just say EQ, but why EQ? Like, what do you think? Like,
it's just being able
and
to.
how did you get your EQ?
It's just being able to. I definitely lean more towards the IQ side. I think Quentin more to the EQ, so we kind of balance ourselves out that way. You obviously need the IQ is not that important though. It's definitely not the most important factor. I would say it's even more like just courage and like resilience and patience and those things, which school doesn't really teach you that at all.
There's two ways I can go about in this section. I might remind me to come back to the EQ part, but like, I really think everyone says they want to be part of the 1%. I think it's very easy to be part of the 1%. You just need to really stick with one thing for longer than 6 months, and you tend to end up in a place where, because 99% of people just can't stick or back themselves long enough. There's a lot of fear and doubt. And so if you can just remove fear and doubt and just brute force yourself into like your dream or your goals, like you will potentially make it, right? And but now becoming part of the 1% of the 1%, that's a different ballgame, because now everyone is willing to die for it, right? everyone is willing to do the thing until it just like they either die trying or they make it work. And then it's a different ballgame, right? Then you need to focus on more IQ level stuff, right? Like systems, like all this little nitty gritty stuff. But the 80-20 of all this stuff is you need to realize you are working with people. People, no matter what, a business, like when I started with business, I always thought like, this is so weird, like arbitrary thing. How am I gonna invoice it in such a, but then I realized like I have something someone else wants, he's willing to give me money for that thing, and he really values this thing. And it solves a problem of his, right? And this is a person I'm solving a problem to. And so I really like catering to the experience because that adds value to the product, and Andre likes building the product to make sure that thing is valuable. So I think that's where we work well together. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, very true. And you know, I love how you two speak about how you work together. I mean, it makes me think about how people in my team work together as well. I mean, I'm always been bigger picture. How will we get to the end point? Look about the 4 or 5 big steps. And you guys know Sean, he's about, okay, what is all the micro steps into that scenario? And I'm always just thinking about, okay, so if we need to be successful, we need to end up there. And he's always thinking about what are the small steps we need to get into that.
You need both.
Picture, That's also the same as I know. There's very big picture. Like I think we both have skills that like intertwine, of course. But there's definitely certain, like I always joke around and I say he's going to be the reason why we're rich, and I'm going to be the reason why we won't go to jail. Like he's very delusional optimist, balls to the wall, just like we're going to do this or die trying. And I'm a little bit more on the like, you know what, but this thing can sort of fail. So let's try and figure out how the fuck do we actually really do this thing. Like let's really, you know. And I really think that working with, like, a team is everything. Team is absolutely everything. The people you work with, your business partner, people you surround yourself with. I mean, that's why essentially we built our community. But even, you know, without the community, like why we joined mentorships, why we join networking groups, why we love doing stuff like this is because you get to meet high-level people. Why we started the podcast. I love interviewing people like you.
So, you know what I love to think about, okay? So you're talking about the reason not going to jail, okay? We all entrepreneurial mindsets, okay? It doesn't matter what. If you weren't doing this sort of thing, you would have thought about a different business and gone into it, okay? But an entrepreneur mindset, knowingly or not, you've always thought about some sort of illegal way.
You had to, right?
Okay?
You had to.
Like, there's always something, like, it can be something small and you don't realize that it's illegal. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, how many times have you come up with a great idea and you just Google and be like, oh, that's actually...
this is probably not the best I want to start, right?
Yeah. So that's very interesting, you know? I always think...
Yeah, like pushing the boundaries. Yeah, what Gwenda says is definitely true. Like I would definitely push the boundaries a bit more and might land myself on like a bad situation, but also you need to push the boundaries.
You have to.
And then scale back.
Yeah.
You know, what can I really accomplish? Like same in the gym. You need to go to absolute failure at least a couple times so you know what's your limit, and then you can kind of scale back slightly and just do that forever.
Yeah, that is true, but sometimes we don't know where that line is, and that's a very difficult one. Like so is Quentin your line finder?
Well, it's like I'm definitely also like someone that wants to chase, but like I would say I'm a good
You know where the boundary is, and like
potentially. It's actually funny. It's actually funny now you mentioned it. I didn't really think about it in that way.
Yeah.
But it's very important, right? Like if you want to push the limits and reach goals and dreams and achieve things that no one else has, you have to push the boundaries, right? And so it's like, you know, if you want to become the Elon Musk who wants to put people on Mars, no one has ever fucking done that before, right? So there's certain limitations that needs to be breached. And so that's a certain level of individual. You have to be a bit on the spectrum, right? You have to be weird and sacrifice and not be normal and not be human, right? And so it's very important to have people that can bring your humanity back to you, right? And just see like, yo, this is a bit crazy. Maybe just redirect. And so team is really everything. I really think so. Once again, coming back to, I like referencing just the Iman event because like he is fairly up there in our industry, and also he says team is everything, right? Like you only have a certain amount of hours a day, but if you can get 10 other people that operate on a similar level than you, also giving their 10 hours to the business, well, you've just more than 10x'd your business output, right?
Yeah, 80% of 10 people is better than 100% of one.
Yeah, oh, wow, 100%, right? And also you tend to have a limiting belief that you don't believe someone else can do the work that you are doing better than you. That's almost flawed by nature, because you are focusing as a founder on so many different aspects of your business. To think that you can do one thing better than someone else that only solely does that is pure ignorance, right?
100%.
Like, think about it. Like, you are focusing on marketing, sales, clients, the product, the service delivery, then the actual invoicing, then the if you had one person focusing on one aspect 24 hours a day, after 2 months, that guy's going to be an expert in that field compared to you, right?
So one thing I just, I don't know, we're probably all guilty of this, is we don't have work-life balance, It's work,
well,
work,
what is
work, work,
work-life
work,
balance,
work, work. I mean, I know you're engaged, and
I mean, she works in the business,
yeah,
right?
like same here. My wife works in the business, and it's like work, 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 work. And that always, there's something that comes in. But what do you guys think about that? Because I don't know any person that's part of that 1% that said, how did you get to the top? They say work-life balance.
And also the thing is, you can have balance over decades, not necessarily the day. Like, you can have balance, like you can have your balanced lifestyle, but your 20s you just grind, and then maybe 20s and 30s grind, and then 40s and onwards you can have a bit more chillaxed lifestyle, and then you have a balanced life. But you don't necessarily have to have like a balance in the day to day.
That's very interesting.
I think it's still important to do that though. Like, I don't think you should work until 12 every single day and sacrifice sleep. Like, still have parameters in place, because even if you have a certain time that you allocate to something, it's like you have 2 hours to complete this project. Usually it will take you 2 hours then. Elon Musk said the same thing. Take your 10-year goal and try and accomplish it in 6 months, because you now have that time thing, and you will get way, way closer. You won't necessarily achieve the goal, but you'll get way closer than if you were just to say, oh, it's a 10-year goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that. That is like a life-changing idea for me.
I also think, right, like, it's so cool you actually, like, you don't know what you don't know, right? Because you don't. And so Andrew and I tend to talk about like this entire subject, but like, while we are on vacation right now, we worked every single day while we're here. We're busy filming right now. Like, this is work, right?
But the thing is, like, work, it's not really work. It's like, it's life.
So that's what I'm trying to get to, is like, if you are in a situation where you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't really feel like work. Now that seems super cliche, but I see my business as a vehicle of impact and changing people's lives. And so I gladly work when I need to, right? And want to. And it's almost like my moral obligation. I believe the Lord has anointed us with our skills and our talents to be able to serve His children, right? That's at least my belief. And so for me, I feel terrible over the weekend if I'm not producing something, because I know this could potentially change someone else's life. And so I think it's important, when you speak about partners, they need to be invested in this thing with you, and they need to understand what they're signing up for. But I also find a balance, because you need to, like, I don't have a good answer on that, because I really like what I'm doing and I really find it to be valuable. But there is a point where you need to be present and enjoy the moment. And that's why I love working with my wife, is because I get my enjoyment out of the business and she can enjoy that with me.
That's very interesting. Because I just don't know, a flaw, maybe it's a flaw or a gift, okay? I don't know how to switch off. So like, if I'm going to go on holiday, I'm going to say I'm going on holiday, but I'm actually going to do market research. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to do in-person marketing. So I'll go to England, okay, for 5-6 weeks, and then every single day I'll go and meet with a different polo club.
But that is it. That is the thing. You know how many people, I believe so many people, like, there's people that can like search their entire life and not find that thing of them. Yeah. It's a blessing to have something that you can't not think about. And especially if you are doing that in a way that influences people, like, and impacts them for the better, like, it's a moral obligation for you to do that, right? And like, what do we mean about balance in any case? Like, what does it mean now to, okay, let's like take a day off, that's fine, right? Spend time with your wife and your kids, that's fine. But what does it mean to have balance? Like what does that even mean? Like, do I need to schedule 3 hours in the evening to watch Netflix or something? Like,
no, it's just society's way.
Yeah.
It's like, I also think rest is important, so that you can work more.
Is it lazy
so that you can
propaganda?
Work more. Yeah, well, it is 100%. And the balance for us is now again, it's like we have a balance, but if we're not working, we're hitting the gym. If we're not hitting the gym, we're focusing on our diet or walking or sleeping. That's all work.
Everything is
It's
work.
all work.
Sleep is work.
Sleep is work because that allows me to operate on my best the next day, right? So it's all work. Like I really think people but it's difficult because society has created this place where, work. A normal guy can't comprehend work to
Enjoying
be
work.
fun.
Yeah.
Like imagine they need to hear you say you love doing what you're doing. Like seriously, wake up with excitement and do that. They can't comprehend that, and so they need a life of balance. I need this weekend to take off to just
Not
recoup,
think about
so that I can. Now I need to go back to work on Monday. I'm rested.
I hate that. The worst thing I ever heard was in the gym is like, thank God it's Friday. I'm like, bro, what life do you have? Where
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
you need to
thank God it's Friday. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Monday tomorrow. It's like, I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't even know what.
I
don't
really
like that.
hate that sort of mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, why should I almost sometimes feel on weekends you get more work done because no one else is calling
because
you.
yes, it's
So
more
you can really
productive.
go through and grind.
Yeah. It's not for everyone, right? Like there's different archetypes in life, and this is not really a projecting of judgment, or maybe it is. I'm not sure, but I don't mean it in that way. Everyone is different, right? If you are entrepreneurial minded, and if you are that type of archetype, like one of us, then the advice is definitely to revisit the idea of and the concept of work-life balance. You don't, like you said, you don't find someone like one of the greats with work-life balance. Now, do I want to become the next Elon Musk? Definitely not. I don't want to be divorced with 12 kids that all hate me. That's definitely not my goal. So it is important to understand what you are chasing, and I don't think revenue is the best goals to chase. That's why we spoke about impact and change people's lives and stuff like that.
But Elon definitely doesn't care about money.
No.
So
no,
what
he
do you
doesn't.
guys think about actually, so we were speaking about yesterday at the fire about you don't have to be passionate about your job, but you have to be curious. Okay, say life gives you you get dealt bad cards, okay?
Yeah.
You're born in a poverty situation, you finally get a job as a bricklayer or something.
Yeah.
I still think you can probably go out and enjoy that. Imagine you go and you want to make sure that every brick you lay is the best brick you've ever laid.
Yeah,
Best to ever touch it.
That's basically what success is, right? Like I read this book, The Surrender Experiment, and that's exactly what all of them kind of come back to. It's you just need to do the best work you can with what's right in front of you, and without regard to the outcome.
Yeah.
That is it. He'll achieve mega success with that. Like even Alex Moses said, like he's more spiritual than you think, even though he's more like behavioral and there's no meta woo-woo stuff. He's like the work is the goal, you know?
Yeah.
The goal isn't even the goal. Because when you achieve the goal, it's like, let's say someone works for 50 years to buy a Ferrari, whatever. Like you only have like enjoyment for a week. Imagine spending 50 years of your life working, sacrificing for like this week of enjoyment.
Yeah.
But that's what creates, so when things are hard, so when you get something that was hard to achieve, you value it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the thing, like those quick Instagram, watching others say something cool on Instagram for 15, 20 seconds, you're like, oh, that's awesome. That's like a quick dopamine
Dopamine hit.
hit, you know? It's not something that you didn't earn that dopamine.
Yeah.
And I think it's that earned dopamine that's the most important thing in life.
To get back to your question about someone being born in poverty and his enjoyment out of life, I think Naval said this as well, where it's like the measurement of success or whatever is did you get
What you want out of life.
Did you get what you want out of life? And so if you are born in a situation or a paradigm that's very limited, right? You don't know about yachts and that it's possible to drive cars or watches or polo or even whatever the situation might be. And you are comparing yourself to your immediate environment. And you want to become a bricklayer because this is the most successful person in your family was a bricklayer and you want to be the best bricklayer. Well, then all power to you, bro. Become the best fucking bricklayer out there and make it work. And because that desire was set there, if he achieves that, then that is success to him. And so I think things that the problem now with social media and all of this is you see what is possible out there, right? Is you see that it's possible to travel and to do all these things and that all this is possible. And so I think it's a lot easier than people believe because I really think that people just don't give themselves permission to actually try. to actually try and achieve it, to chase their goals. You only have one life. Like, it's so cliche, but you really only have one life, right? Like, people don't regret the decision that they've made, or very rare, obviously there is, but like, people mostly regret on the deathbed the things that they didn't take, right? The risks that they didn't take.
You know that quote where it says, a man has two lives, one where he's born, and the
Yeah.
second when he finds out he only has one life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
tough,
good,
eh?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So why not? And I also believe there's almost zero risk to chasing your goals. Okay, well, if you have family and like responsibilities.
Yeah.
No, but okay, if you're young, that's why, it's mostly younger people watching even my YouTube videos. It's like, okay, the worst case scenario is your current state.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing that can happen is your current reality. How is that a risk?
Yeah.
You like, okay, you stay with your parents, you try this, online business thing, it fails, which basically means you just gave up, you didn't really fail, and then you just go back to living with your parents.
Yeah. And you learn skills in the midst of failure
can't
that you can
lose.
carry over, so you're just learning.
Yeah.
And I think we interviewed a guest recently where we asked him this question: what would your advice be to your younger self? Like, should you follow your passion? How should you figure? Because I think the question behind, like, what do I do with life after school is very important. And he actually said he gives different advice to people in different stages of their life. If you are younger, between 19 and 26, it's a moral obligation to try what you want to do.
Swing
like,
as many
this is
times.
now the time to try and play golf like Tiger Woods, or sing like Justin Bieber, or to fucking start a business, or because you'll never have less responsibilities that you have right now, and those skills can carry over into life. If you're 35 with kids, well, you have made certain decisions that led you into this situation, and you have now more obligation as the man in the house to provide and to protect. And so now you need to burden the suffering that comes with the decision that you have made. That doesn't mean you never try and chase your dream, but it's, you need to provide first. And then take care of your family. If there's anything left, try and figure out, how do you increase? How do you multiply?
It's definitely hard. It's possible, but it's 100% harder.
I think you're almost more employable to a random employer if you've tried and you failed a business. They can see that on your CV.
Yes.
Okay,
love that.
then you were just a worker your whole.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that
love
guy knows he's employing somebody that knows the strife of starting a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That knows that they put in that much effort and their business still didn't survive.
Yes.
You know, they know how tough it is.
It's like soft skills you learn.
Yeah.
And like, not a single person, I've done 1,000 sales calls, not a single person has asked for my degree.
Yeah.
How much did you get on your matric exams? Not a single person.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's like, what is going on? Like, school and life is completely different. And the one job of school is to teach you life after school. And it does not do that.
University is an easy way of keeping your parents happy.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, how's it going? No, I got X on this test.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
well
yeah.
done. You know, actually, like, what has it got to do?
Yeah.
If you get all these papers, what does it help you with?
And this is it. This is the fucking skill, right? That separates the people, right? Or the complete trailblazers compared to just a normal
misfits.
average, yeah. And it's that exact thing. It's like, I had to realize in that moment, and like me and my father have a great relationship, and he has always supported me from day one.
That's also big, like your
which is
family
big. Yeah,
support.
now I have the best relationship with my parents. But I did realize, like, he wanted me to go and study, and I realized in that moment, because he's his own engineering company, and I had to realize either his dream dies or my dream dies in this moment. And I had to make a decision in that moment that I need to back myself. I need to take this step. It's much easier to take the safe route, to take your father's business over, to have this life in front of you that's sort of built out, but that was boring. It was boring to me. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make my own mark in this world, and I decided, fuck this, I'll figure it out.
You know, nobody understands, or people that don't have the experience, when your parents have got a business, they've grown for their whole life, they have a child, and they're like, oh yes, I can hand this over, you know what, I've worked my whole life. Like imagine, like, for your dad, he's probably like, oh damn it, like, what do I do with this legacy now that I've built and everything. But from the child's side, there's also quite a lot of pressure going towards you to take over a business that your parents built. You know, for argument's sake, my dad is probably the most successful stud Angus breeder ever in South Africa, you know, or stud cattle breeder. Wow. And then my passion was horses. I mean, I was the only one of the kids that understood farming, you know, every day with you know, on the tractor with the cows. Every time he had a sale, I would be there brushing the cows, making them, you know what your dad wants you to see, everything. And then we had to have this conversation. Listen here, you know, you've actually got, and well done to my dad. He's like, you've got a different passion.
Well,
And I
that's
believe
amazing.
you're gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
You know, like now he's never worked with horses or in hospitality, and then, you know, still getting that sort of support from your parents is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, and it comes from a good place, right? Like your parents want you to be the best like version of yourself with the knowledge that they have, right? And like that is that is all it is. And now looking back, I realized where me and my father relate a lot is our entrepreneurial mind. He started the engineering business. I don't think he has a passion for engineering. I mean that's also but he has a passion for problem solving and building businesses and stuff like that. It's like his fourth business now, and that's what we relate a lot by. And so now having the business now, our relationship couldn't have been better, right? But yeah, it's just interesting.
He probably respects you almost more because you went out and really, like, you know, you put it on the line, you know.
I think so, but it's like also like it's that respect of it's like that self-respect, right? It's like I know that I can do this, right?
And being an entrepreneur and running a business are two completely different things.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one thing, like starting a business, getting it going and everything. But when it stops being that, oh, let's do this new thing, you know, that it becomes, you know, settled day to day. It's not the same. You know, you see all these great entrepreneurs, they keep on, they just put someone in place to run it. And then they just go and decide to do a new one, you know, pivot into something.
Yeah, that's more
different.
like an investor type of role, where you like play CEOs in companies and like you're on the board. I think that's kind of cool as well. It's like more like a venture capitalist.
That is.
But that's more long-term stuff.
Yeah, because you actually need to then know. You need to know the business. Like
It's reading people that. So how do you know who's going to be the best jockey to run this business?
Exactly.
That comes down to EQ again.
Yeah.
How do you read somebody?
Yeah.
No, reading people is even Ty Lopez said it's like the best skill you can have.
Yeah.
It's reading people.
I think everybody should actually just go into that. Everybody needs to know how to sell something.
Oh yeah, sales is the best skill.
Well,
ever.
whether you believe it or not, you are selling every day. Like whether
Yeah.
you believe it or not, you are selling a solution. You're selling a product, a service. You're even selling yourself. Like you are always selling. And so that's why I think like Andrew, like when we have people in the community coming in, like that's why we teach people how to make money online through agency, because this is the best business model. Why? Because you learn so many different skills: sales, marketing, service delivery, like operations, team management, like invoicing, like all payment, like every aspect of business you learn. And before I started, I always thought like, yo, if this doesn't work, like I'm fucked. I realize now, like I have so many skills that can benefit so many different like industries and businesses that I can potentially apply for so many different roles. And you know, like I can produce so much value in the marketplace because I have all these skills. And I've never had that if I never, you know, just done it, right? Like I don't know.
It's like what's that Wolf of Wall Street thing? Sell me this pen.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible. It's like just a joke at the end of the movie, but it's the most important thing in life. Is like how you sell something, which is actually was like I understand of this week. I've learned more about your community, which is fascinating to me. And there's a lot of stuff on like how you sell something, how you do this, how you do that, which is the most important thing. And I think people joining your community, massive value add there. You know, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's our passion project, man. It's like you doing this polo and the horseback safari and waking up excitement, trying to create a great experience
What
for
small
people.
optimization can we make that will not pay off in 2-3 years time? But doing it for the love of it.
Doing it for the love of it, man. Like I really think like where our product comes down to is we are two guys that enjoy learning. But learning business, learning how the world works, how to make money. We are completely fascinated about it. Speaking to people like you, running a business, building a product, like something like this. It's just completely like what does it take to get here from point A to point B to, and then conveying that to other people that find value in that, and then hearing it change their lives. Like it's an exceptional feeling. And I owe all my success to all my mentors, right? I believe I am definitely not the smartest guy out there, but you know, I'm willing to back myself and I do the things that are required, and that's it.
So Quentin and Andrew, if you can answer this separately, So you guys have been to my business now for a week, okay? If you were the sales rep for my business for a week stay here, how would you sell it to somebody?
Want to start?
I mean, if you want the best experience you've ever had, like we've had the privilege last year of going to a bunch of different countries. Like everyone's got it on their vision board, the Dubai, the Lambos, the everything. And even we who are from South Africa who might, you know, experience more of these things, right? Like Dubai and America, you'll never see this, but we might have an inkling to see a bit more, right? And maybe experience it. And this just blew it out the water. It's like insane. Like I've never ever experienced something like this. I've been to like the Kruger National Park, and that was probably the closest, but this doesn't compare at all. Even, I don't know who I told this, I think Sean, like when you stay at the like the lodge, whatever, you kind of get, I don't know if climatized is the right word, you get used to it, right? Obviously the first time it's like, wow, it's super cool still, but it's the same place. I think food is big, and obviously with diet and stuff like that, we are big on, you know, being healthy, and the food kind of changes every, you know, different desserts, different dinner. That's like
Healthy desserts.
Desserts, yeah. Oh.
balance.
Beers, fucking.
Balance. So that novelty keeps it fresh as well, and you guys have that too.
Yeah, man, I think this is like a proper like South African experience, right? Like I think it's especially if the market is a lot more international people, I would definitely lead with the framing of a South African experience. Just the fact that you're making a fire in such a cool place. Just fire in general is very primitive, right? But for us South Africans, it's very normal. But if an international guy comes here, they're like mesmerized by a fire. Now they're seeing cameel perde on horses, and they're hunting flatvarke and blesbokke and dry, and you know, drinking milk from the like it's an exceptional experience. I would definitely lead with the idea of like the true South African experience, like horseback
if you want to
safari.
experience Africa.
Yeah, if you want to experience Africa in the most rawest form, Sparta Safari.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'd love to like ask people every week, like, how would you sell it? Like to work on my own sales tactic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, the angle, that's very important. Like people,
that's
even
everything.
these big companies are constantly changing up their positioning, seeing what angle they can enter the marketplace, what resonates with them, because what you think resonates doesn't necessarily resonate with the marketplace. What you think, I don't know, you might think the certain aspect of the experience is the best, and then clients don't like it whatsoever. You mentioned that in the beginning. It's like you added the polo or something.
You mean the shooting?
Yeah, the clay pigeon. Like you just added it and you realized, oh wow, they really enjoyed this, but you didn't know it.
Yeah, because I grew up clay pigeon shooting.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, oh, that's just something we do on Saturdays.
And they're like, what? This is so cool.
The cool way to go and dissect that is ask yourself, where is majority of my clients coming from? If more than 90% of them is coming from UK, then I would definitely lead to what makes this place special to them, and it's a South African experience. It's an African thing. And lead with that as a marketing. But yeah, that's my opinion. Amazing. Well, Luke, I think this was an exceptional interview. We really enjoyed it, and we really appreciate you guys taking us through this entire experience. I really think if anybody wants to come and have the true authentic South African experience, like I mentioned right now, but like on a real note, like this was exceptional.
We'll have everything linked down below. Instagram.
We were riding horses. We were seeing cameel perde and earlande and blesbokke, hunting. We were doing polo for the first time in our life.
Horseback safari was great as well.
Best food, like it was exceptional. So yeah, I really appreciate you for being here and
hosting us.
Hosting
Thanks,
us.
Luke.
Thanks.
We'll link everything down below, but if you want to mention where they can find you, or...
So go on Instagram, Sparta Horseback Safari. I mean, it's incredible. You'll see a great video, valued entertainment. You can see multiple testimonials. You've listened to these credible sources, maybe not so credible, but and I don't think there's anybody that has ever come here, regretted it, not left a better horse rider, not left with memories. You know, it's unforgettable.
Yeah, you can also check out, if you want some cool Instagram photos, you can definitely come here.
Boost
your IG.
If you want to if you don't want to just have your whole feed with you at the beach, this is something totally different.
All right, thanks. Cool.